Now, looking at the high numbers as far as the national capital is concerned, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today has announced a weekend curfew that is going to start from 10 p.m. tomorrow night and will go on till 6 a.m. on Monday. In fact, there have been a slew of other measures like closing of the markets till 30th of April. Also, all spas, salons and other, in fact, places have also been shut down, including the malls. Take a look at how Delhi now is mounting its effort in hope that it would be able to break the chain.
आज एलजी साहब के साथ मीटिंग हुई थी और सब ने मिलके ये निर्णय लिए हैं कि वीकेंड के ऊपर कर्फ्यू दिल्ली के अंदर लगाया जाएगा.
Delhi is taking harsh measures to check the COVID wave that is sweeping the national capital. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has declared a weekend curfew. It begins from 10 p.m. on Friday and will last till 6 a.m. on Monday. Essential services are exempted from the weekend curfew. People are allowed to travel for medical purposes. The Delhi government is also providing curfew passes for weddings. Shopping malls, spas and gymnasiums are being shut indefinitely. The decision has left gym owners worried about their future.
This will impact us hugely because in past we have also suffered from the 6 months lockdown. The thing is, we don't get any support even from government. We have to pay full electricity bills, we have to pay full rent, we have to pay other miscellaneous expenses. So if you are shutting us down, please support us because we will be in a huge trouble.
The Delhi government has promised concessions to the weekly markets. The traders' body has voiced its support to the Aam Aadmi Party government.
दिल्ली के व्यापारी इस कदम को बड़ा सही कदम मानते हैं, लेकिन हमारा ये कहना है कि जिस प्रकार से, जिस तेजी के साथ, जिस बेतहाशा वृद्धि के साथ दिल्ली में कोरोना बढ़ रहा है, जब तक दिल्ली में 7 से 10 दिन का लॉकडाउन नहीं लगाया जाएगा, तब तक ये चेन ब्रेक नहीं होगी. इस चेन को ब्रेक करना बहुत जरूरी है.
While hospitals are overwhelmed by the rise in cases, the Chief Minister claims the situation is well under control.
दिल्ली में हॉस्पिटल बेड्स की कमी नहीं है. अभी लेटेस्ट डेटा के हिसाब से 5,000 से ज़्यादा बेड अभी खाली हैं.
The Delhi government has ordered conversion of some hotels and banquet halls into COVID care centers and linked them to hospitals to increase the number of beds. The Delhi government is imposing weekend curbs to check the spiraling COVID cases, which are closing in on the 20,000 mark. The administration hopes the night and weekend curfews will break the chain and slow down the wave. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let me just very quickly recap for you, because from tomorrow evening there are going to be stringent restrictions which are going to come into effect. Also, the markets and other places will be shut. So what is open, what is not, just in order so that I can very quickly give you a guideline of the things that would be allowed post 12 a.m. today. Passengers who are in fact traveling with a valid ticket don't need a curfew pass. Essential services would be allowed. Curfew passes for people, those who are going to attend the weddings. There is no restriction on or cancellation of the weddings, only restriction on the number of people, those who can attend the wedding is what the government has done as of now. But the other sweeping curb, which is going to go on till 30th of April or until the government passes a new order, gyms, spas, malls have completely been shut. Restaurants, there is no dine-in allowed from tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. You won't be able to go inside a restaurant and sit there and eat. Apart from that, the home delivery services, of course, would be allowed. Cinema halls would only be allowed to function with 30% of the total capacity. Now, the Chief Minister, though, assured that there is no crunch as far as the hospital beds are concerned. The data does show that there are still some beds available, but the fact is the ICU beds are becoming a big problem as far as the people, those who are suffering from COVID-19 in the national capital go. To address the problem, government has taken some measures. 14 private and 6 government hospitals have been converted into COVID treatment centers. More than 2,600 new beds have been added to the national capital's tally. The government has linked banquet halls, schools and sports complexes to the hospitals. With this, LNJP Hospital, Sir Gangaram Hospital will now have more space to accommodate patients. The move comes as Delhi recorded its biggest ever peak on Wednesday. Let me go across to my colleague Milan Sharma, who is joining me from the national capital with more details on this story. Milan, first of all, stringent curbs already were, in fact, was something that we were, bracing for. The kind of numbers that are being witnessed in the national capital. What are you picking up from the ground? The situation seems to be only getting worse every single day.
Well, Ankit, that's when the Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal announced this day that there will be a restricted curfew. I'm right now near an area that has parks and auditoriums, and you can see that entire area is currently deserted. People have realized that recreational activities, going to malls, going to parks, going to auditoriums will be restricted for now. But since the Chief Minister has not put a complete lockdown, essential services will continue. We also know that banks and such other offices will also continue to function. The CM has also taken special care for those people who had organized wedding functions, taken prior bookings and told them that they will be allowed to hold these functions. But there has to be restriction. Ankit, you and I have both seen not just outside government hospitals, but private hospitals as well. There are no beds with ICU and ventilators. The government is making it very clear they have extra beds, but there will be no preferential bed treatment given to anyone. You can't have a private bed. The government is trying to pull in all resources, as you just mentioned. Banquet halls are being connected with hospitals now. So yes, the situation is pretty grim. The positivity rate is very high and people need to realize that some of them do now, which is why you're looking at a completely deserted picture as the CM made this announcement for the citizens of Delhi.
Thank you, Milan, for joining us with all those details, as Milan is reporting out of an area which already is wearing a deserted look. Even at this market where I'm standing, at the Defence Colony Market, which is usually quite packed in the evenings, not much, in fact, crowd. So people, those who are coming out, only coming out for essentials, because there is a sense of panic as well because of this, of the restrictions that have been now announced by the government of Delhi. Now, let me very quickly also introduce on the show Dr. Arvind Kumar, chest oncologist surgeon, senior doctor who's joining us from the national capital. So thank you so much for speaking to us. I very quickly want to understand from you, a lot of experts have already suggested that lockdowns and curfews might not be the silver bullet that we are looking for when it comes to trying to bring the COVID cases down. Why do you think it has been essential to, in fact, put these curbs, and how successful do you think they could prove as far as breaking the chain of the COVID-19 transmission is concerned in Delhi?
First of all, Ankit ji, thank you for having me in the show. If you look at the speed with which the cases have risen in the last 15 days, and you yourself showed a figure that we have raced from 1 lakh to 2 lakh in just a matter of 10 days. So two things are very clear, that number one, this infection has a very high infectious rate, much higher than the version we saw last year. And also a myth that many people were saying that this current strain is highly infectious but less deadly has also been proved wrong by a lot of data from our own ICUs, where the mortality rate is actually higher, and also two elegant studies which have come from England, which have looked at this English-British strain and said that it is not only highly infectious, but is also more deadly than the previous virus. Now, when you have a deadly infectious virus present in millions in the community, and it is spreading like a wildfire, how do you stop this virus? Either you have a very potent antiviral medicine available, which unfortunately we don't have, and then the only other way is to stop the chain of transmission. Find out how it spreads and stop the spread of the virus. And that's our only alternative today. And we know that between hand-based transmission and the aerosol transmission, it is the aerosol transmission which is the major mode of transmission, which happens when an infected person and a non-infected person comes in close contact. So the only way to break the chain of transmission today is to stop intermingling of people. And how you achieve that, whether you achieve it by a government-imposed lockdown, or as I have been appealing for last several days on all TV channels, is for people to practice lockdown, just lock themselves up in the houses and not move out unless unavoidable. If you have to move out, do have a mask. Presume every other person to be infected and try and maintain as much distance as possible. And most important, and if you look at the data, the maximum number of transmissions have happened when large number of people have accumulated in closed spaces. That is where highest, almost 100% transmission has taken place. So carefully avoid that. If we can do these measures even today, if we apply it across the country rigidly, religiously, the beneficial effect will start being seen a week or 10 days later.
Dr. Kumar, you know, you've also, because you are getting a first-hand experience of the kind of flood, in fact, of people which is coming in as far as the hospitals are concerned. A big concern among the people is also about those who are non-COVID but suffer from serious diseases. What will you tell them, sir? You yourself are an oncologist, a surgeon. A lot of cancer patients would be struggling. Many hospitals have been converted into COVID hospitals. What's the way out for them?
It's a very serious situation. We also faced it last year. And let me candidly admit here that last year, when there was a complete breakdown for a lockdown for a month or so, there were large number of patients of cancer who actually lost lives. They came in early stage, and by the time they could manage to reach us, they actually became advanced stage. A large number of dialysis patients, large number of chemotherapy patients, chronic patients who needed to visit hospitals regularly but were not able to, were put to inconvenience or even lost life. If you ask the exact numbers, I doubt if anybody will be able to ever give exact numbers, but all doctors know, all families know that precious lives were lost because hospitals were not available. And I'm afraid that we are again going to face a similar situation, because in my assessment, next 2 weeks, the numbers are going to surge further and further because of the kind of activities which have happened in the last 2 weeks. If we start lockdown today, the beneficial effect will only start coming a week or 10 days later, not from tomorrow.
Very quickly, sir, in conclusion, because I will have to take a break after that. In conclusion, I just want to understand from you, at a time when you are saying that, listen, if you go out, you are not only risking your life, for doctors like you who have been at the front line continuously, working tirelessly, you are risking others. And then there are people, those who are not suffering from COVID but other ailments, they are also suffering. Many lives are being put at stake. Religious gatherings like the Kumbh and others still continue. I mean, it's baffling for a lot of people. While on one hand we are talking lockdown, on the other we still continue with such big gatherings.
Sure. Even political rallies for that matter. And a lot of people are giving examples that if political rallies can go on, why should be? So I, as a doctor, without going into any controversies, will use your national platform to once again humbly appeal to people. Please, let's not look at what other person has not done. Let us look at what is my duty. Every citizen's duty today is to lock himself up in the house and contribute his bit to breaking this chain of transmission by not intermingling with people or doing it as infrequently as possible.
if it is not essential, please don't step out. You are not just risking your life, but many, many lives. And just take the advice that Dr. Kumar is in fact giving. He's the man who's at the front line. He exactly knows the burdens, the pressures, these statistics that we talk about are just not numbers. There are families behind those people, those who are losing their lives, and others, those who are struggling in the hospital. Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. It was a pleasure having you on the show. I will take a very quick break at this moment, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.